Hi, I'm Craig with T-Squid. We're here today to talk about the UPIC camera, and this instructional video is going to address two sections. The first part of the video is going to address the actual mechanical operation, setup, battery, charging of the camera, and the second part of the video is going to address the application software using UPIC at your event. So when you start out with the camera, I'm just going to go through some of the features on the camera. The power button is right on the top. To turn on the camera, you're basically going to hold the button down for a couple of seconds. The camera will turn on. The other items on top of the camera, this is your zoom control. So you can zoom out and you can zoom in. On the side of the camera, if you're doing an event that's dark and you need a flash, you push the button on the side and the strobe will pop up. If you're not using it, then close it. Continuing on to the opposite side, this is the access port to charge. So that's your micro USB port. And the camera's going to come complete with the USB cord with the adapter plug-in for 110. Very simply, you just take the cord and plug it in. The same cord is also going to be used. The camera does come with an additional external battery, and a charger. You just simply put the battery in, close the door, take the USB cord, and plug that in and plug it back into the wall. There'll be a red indicator light here to indicate that the battery's charging. When it's fully charged, that light on the top will turn green. At an event, you can probably get 2 to 3 hours use of the battery, and when the battery in the camera goes dead, you'll turn the camera over, slide the switch, the door will open, there's a release tab, you pull the battery out. Please make note of the arrow that's on the top of the battery. That arrow, it's very important, goes closest to the hinge of the door. So that way the battery will go in. If you put it in reverse, the battery will go in almost all the way, but it won't click. Don't force it or the camera will break. So what you want to do is make certain that that arrow is closest to the hinge of the door. When you change the battery, simply slide it all the way in, and you're going to push it down very gently till you have a little click. And that's, you'll see when the battery's engaged. Close the door, lock the door. So that's the mechanical operation. Now we're going to go through the software operation as far as turning on the camera, hold the button down, and it's going to take about 20-30 seconds for the camera itself to boot up. So we're just going to let that run its course. As soon as the camera powers up, it's going to go into the camera mode, and the camera lens will pop open, and it's going to be instantly ready for taking photos. First thing you need to do is, on the upper left-hand corner, there's a picture of a little house. Touch the house, and that's to go home. And now you're going to be back at the main Android screen on the camera. This is a touchscreen Android device. All of these icons on the screen are going to be used at some point, whether maintenance, updates, remote support. But the primary icon that you will use at the event is going to be the little black camera icon that says UPIC camera. You're going to simply touch that, and that will launch the T-Squid UPIC camera app. I'm going to walk through briefly explaining all of the different functions that you see on the screen. Starting in the upper right, you see the odometers. There's 3 different odometers. The very top odometer is the life of the camera. That's the total number of images taken during the life of the camera, and that can never be reset. The next one down It's kind of the equivalent of a trip odometer in your car. If you want to have the total number of images during an event, you can push the little reset button and it's going to pop up saying, do you want to reset? And you say yes. And now we've reset it to 0. So for the day, you might want to have an idea of how many pictures you took for that day. And that's just your little trip odometer. The odometer below that is basically the outgoing odometer. That's the number of images that are currently waiting to be uploaded to the server. If you have connection from the camera to the server, then in theory that number should always be 0 or 1, just waiting for the next photo. So as soon as you take one photo, that'll go to 1. When the photo is uploaded, it'll go back. You'll hear an audio beep confirming that it's been uploaded, and that 0, the 1 will go back to a 0, and the upper odometers will increment by 1. At the top of the screen, it should have all of your account information. Name of your company, the account number, and the camera number, which are important for regular updates so that we're sending the correct updates and templates to your camera. The controls on the side of the screen over here, this is the yellow indicator right now is your battery indicator. Currently that's showing about half full. The next indicator down shows the logo for the 4G, and it's showing that right now we are connected to 4G, AT&T's 4G. That should always, at an event, it always has to be 4G as opposed to a Wi-Fi indicator. The next button down is red. That's your on-off button. So it's important once you start up the app, if you touch it, it'll now turn to green, and basically it's now ready, it's armed to start uploading images to the server. The next button down, the YouTube logo, allows you to launch this instructional video or any updated videos so that if you're changing staff members on a given day or a different event, you can simply hand them the camera, tell them to click on the YouTube video button, and they can watch the video. At the very bottom, there's a gear here for administrative access, which that's internally for our own use, which you will not be needing or using. And lastly, on the bottom right, there's a little notepad for a log. On occasion, this is just simply going to show all of the history, every photo, anything that's been done on the camera. And so if you're wondering if an image got sent or if a customer says, I didn't get my photo, you can actually look back in this log and it'll show you exactly the date and time when it was sent. If you're having an issue with something, we might ask you to open the log and click on the Send Mail button, and that will then open up Gmail, and we can email this log directly to us so that we can take a look at it. I'm going to close the log. So at an event, the operation of the camera is very simple. Once a consumer wants their photo taken, all you do is you touch the camera in the middle, and that's going to put it into camera mode. The lens will pop out, and you're now basically ready to take a photo. You can snap the photo either by the button on the top or the button on the side of the screen. I prefer using the button on the top because if you push it down halfway, it'll also do the autofocus. And you push it down the rest of the way, it will snap the photo. You can now save the photo. If you don't like it or the individual's eyes are closed, you can redo the photo by hitting the back arrow. So let's go ahead and save it. And at this point, you're going to choose a template. So right now we have it set for a default template number 12 for an event. If that's going to be, if you want a different template, you touch on that and you choose whatever template that you want for the event. So I'm going to go back to choosing that template. You touch on the telephone and put in a phone number. When you're done entering the phone number, you would typically, you could hit done, show the camera to the consumer, ask him to confirm that that is in fact his correct phone number. If there's more than one person in the photo, then basically what you're going to do is you're going to click add, and then you're going to turn around and put the next person. There's no limit to, if there's 5 people in the photo, you can keep doing this, so that way all 5 people will get the photo. Okay, so I've now actually put 2 phone numbers in, and I'm going to say OK. Now watch what happens. The odometer is at 2, showing that there's 2 images waiting to be uploaded. And in a second, it's about every 20-second cycle, you're going to see that the progress bar spinning. 1 got uploaded, the odometer went down by 1. The next progress, and there's the second. So both images have now been uploaded, and the odometer for today's trip for event has increased, to 2 for the day. And that concludes this version of the demo for using the UPIC camera, and we wish you luck for any event. Last thing I do want to point out, if you have any difficulties, what we might ask you to do then is from this screen on the far right, the up arrow right in the middle, or the home arrow, you hit the home button. And then once you hit the home button, if you look at this icon right in the middle here, it's the blue square with the 2 arrows on it. We might ask you to touch that and then read us that number. That will allow us to remotely take control of the camera, and we can provide any remote support, reprogramming, changing templates, things that are needed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the home button, and if I want to relaunch the application for the camera, I just simply go back and touch the camera, and we're right back there. Always make sure that that green light is on so that the camera is armed. Good luck. Thank you very much.